Hi. We're back and we're on video.
Hello.
And Patrick, you look rather different.
Yeah, I got shorter.
Patrick, if you're watching this, you know we love you.
Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, Patrick mostly stepped away from the internet
Yeah,
because he has a life.
that's fine. We all do. Like I'm
Mhm.
semi-retired as well, but I don't mind coming back to do a podcast at least with my friends, even if that. So,
And I just do voice acting sometimes. I'm the voice acting monkey.
so everybody, this is Cat. Cat, this
Hello.
is everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody!
Hi,
Nice.
Dr. Dick.
At least, hey, you got it. Thank you.
Well, someone did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so a couple of changes going around. I guess I sort of took the lead in the introduction.
Yeah, I mean, it was on your channel.
True, it was. Yeah, but you were always the one that sort of did it, like with the theme song and stuff like
Oh
that.
God, yeah, God, do you remember the theme song that I
Welcome to
did?
the
I can't.
welcome to the Stress
This
Room
just your
podcast.
podcast,
Yes, with Stevie, Shannon, and Patrick.
Patrick.
Don't ask me to rap. Not even presents. Um,
You should be ashamed for that.
I am not ashamed.
I'm kidding. Um, you see, oh man, we need a pun off between Shannon and the VTuber Ina from Hololive. The pun off between those two would be perfect.
Mm. I would need like a pun exercise routine before we can make that happen. So let's see other changes while we're on video. Um, Way back when in the early days, I recorded from my laptop and through like a third party. I forget what I used, but anyway, I had to like put everything in Windows Movie Maker and life goes on. It was a lot to edit, and I know like there was one night I think after we recorded, I think Stevie helped me edit it because it was just really difficult.
Yes, yeah, I remember a case of that, and I also remember there was one night where you said that you were busy with something, so me and Patrick got on Skype back when for everybody
Skype.
who's new, Skype used to be what everyone did before Discord, and it was everyone just sort of accepted it. It's like
Hmm.
you made do with what you had. Nowadays you got Discord and Zoom and Teams, which has replaced Skype.
Rest
Yeah.
in peace, Skype, because that's how Stevie, Patrick, and I used to make the original Stress Room podcast was through Skype.
Yep. But I remember me and Patrick, we hopped on Skype and he told a story about how he went to it was some like ghost sighting place, like with some friends, and it was just a two-man episode. And then as soon as we finished recording, Shannon pops up and is just like, "Hey guys, I'm here. You want to record?" And it's like, "Okay, well we just finished recording, but yeah." And then I think we watched an episode of Hotel Hell
Y
from
yeah.
Gordon Ramsay.
Which
Oh
I
boy.
think, which I think the audio for that is partially flagged for obvious reasons.
Oh,
Yeah, good times, good times. So if anyone wants to catch up on the Stress Room podcasts, I had to unprivate them one by one, so they should be all there, except there's one on an alternate channel that I created, but I never used it, so I removed it, so it's fine. So like all the other ones, you guys could just record. And also I'm wearing a headset with a microphone, so the other original podcast, you could barely hear me. No matter how many times I try to tweak with the volume. So,
Well,
I still sound like I'm in a tin can.
yeah.
I just hope that I'm able to be heard.
I
We
can hear
can
you.
hear you fine here. So,
Okay, good.
And in the few podcast-ish videos that me and Kat did for my channel, we only did like two, like we don't even have like an official name for it. They're just called like episode reviews. We just talk about episodes of shows that we watched.
Hmm.
Like her audio's fine there, so yeah, I think you should be all right.
yeah, totally, totally fine. And then I think a little bit of backstory of like how we came up with the name Stress Room. I think it was just us just venting about stress and reviewers and people in reviewer groups on Facebook.
On Facebook. That is the most like parent sounding way of describing it. Because of people on Facebook and
Eh,
and their IMs and the MySpaces.
I never had a MySpace.
Me either.
I mean, my first social media was Facebook, actually.
Yeah, me too. And that was like late into high school for
hmm
me.
Free. Yeah.
Mine, like, I think I was going to be a sophomore in high school, and this is like 2010.
Hmm.
I forget if I was like late middle school or early high school with mine, but yeah, I joined it
Yeah.
late.
Oh my God, 15, 16 years I've been on. Oh God, my age is
Ah,
showing. Oh, that ain't
ugh.
good. That ain't good. That ain't good. That ain't good.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I think I joined only because my sister made my account, and it was because I joined my school's choir thing, so they needed to have a way to contact me outside of phone stuff.
Mm.
So, mm.
It's like contacting you after work hours. No, I'm at home. Go away.
Yeah.
Oh man, so we have a whole chock full of topics for you guys. Well, we did a brief catch up. I know Stevie has some stuff, Kat has some stuff, and I think I may have a couple of stuff. So
Hmm.
I guess let's get right down to it. I mean, we're a go with the flow. We'll shoot the wind, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my stuff written down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh,
I didn't make a list, but I could scroll through.
you know what? As a bonus, I'd like to hear, Kat, what did you put on your list?
Okay. I'm gonna go from least worst of stuff that you reviewed to just like the top that I've that just personally got to me for like how bad it was. Um, and I technically put these a little out of order on my list but I'm
That's
gonna
okay.
read them off as best I can.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Number 10 for my number 10, the Jimmy Neutron computer game that you looked at because it
Wow.
I actually grew up playing that game and I did love it a lot, but I can see why you didn't particularly like it because, well, one, the graphics are horrifying, and two, there are some parts of it that are buggy. Like there's one part where you're in the city and you're trying to get this little Darwin. Like when you shrink it with your shrink ray, you can't collect it. What the hell? And there's kind of an anticlimax near the end.
Oh
It's
God,
more
yeah.
like a sneaking around than anything.
Yeah.
So for just having a kind of lackluster ending, I could see why you didn't particularly like it, and that's why it's at the bottom of
Mhm.
my list. Okay. Number 9, the Totally Spies movie. Be-
Really?
yeah, honestly, yeah, because it just
That's
feels
surprising.
well. Here's the thing: I grew up with Totally. It was a part of my childhood, and I I grew up in the era where the girls fell onto a giant mattress, and Jess Harnell played the boss. So the movie kind of threw things a little out of whack by having them like fall on the couch, having the boss to like kind
Yeah.
of force them into the position of
Yeah.
spies.
I guess I could say that. I don't know. I'm just surprised because it's like, I mean, I've seen way worse movies than
Oh,
Totally Spies
that's why
movie.
this is on the bottom
Fair
of
enough.
my
Okay.
list. Let's yeah. Oh, and the villain was kind of lame, just
Uh,
giving them weird floppy hair.
yeah. That was
Although it was funny seeing a bald guy with the floppy hair. You were cracking up when you saw that.
yeah.
It's like, where did that come from on a bald guy? And the villain in that film was dumb.
Yeah.
Uh, I think that the villain in the show, Tim Scam, was a way more intimidating antagonist
Yeah.
he he tried to like hold all the world's water for hostage and nearly left Jerry and the girls for dead in space.
Yeah. And this was like the second episode of the show or something.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Honestly, that should have been a season finale thing
Yes. Yeah, God, yeah.
because it would have had the girls like being annoyed with Jerry, like wishing that they did had a different boss. But when they get him, it's a different. Like it shows that just because somebody is new and hot, that doesn't mean they're necessarily a good boss, especially when he's trying to actively kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, number 8, Casper Scare School, because it had potential, but it kind of squandered it, and it kind of was confused in the messaging, like with, Kibosh.
Yeah.
Apparently, he had human friends too.
But he condemns
Mhm.
Casper for having human friends.
Ugh.
What a hypocrite.
Uh-huh.
Again, I'm surprised that this is on the list because it's like when it comes to Casper things I've reviewed, I still think the one with Steve Gutenberg was worse.
Oh, that one's dumb too, but I'm just going
That's
personally
again,
because,
yeah.
uh, yeah, this one's a little. Plus, it had people I liked in it, like kind of their talents being squandered, like poor Bob Saget.
Oh,
Rest in peace, Bob Saget.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like he played one half of the principal.
And the other half was Jim Belushi.
Yeah, I think so. And Devin Workhauser played the ghost, like
Yeah,
Casper.
yeah. Ned from Ned's Declassified is the main
Oh,
character.
oh wow. Okay. Was this before or after his Ned's
This might
Declassified days?
this might have been during.
During?
Yeah. hmm
Wow, okay.
Actually, this is my number 7 on my list anyway. Captain N.
Wow, wow. This is like the second or third one of these lists where Captain N has ended up. Yeah, Captain N sucks.
Uh,
It's really cheap. Like they forget a lot of details.
It's one of those shows from around that era where it's a show or a movie that literally just exists to sell shit. It's just there to promote whatever hot
mhm.
Nintendo product was out at the time.
Mm-hmm. And I think the weirdest thing is they didn't have the boy in the live action part voice the kid in the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, that stuff like that's always weird.
But like, hi Matt Hill.
Uh, Ed from Ed, Ed and Eddie, baby.
Yep. And the dog looked a little different too, didn't he?
Yeah, that was weird. Oh, speaking of different, what they did to our fucking beloved NES characters. I mean, what they did to Mega Man and Kid Icarus and
Uh,
fucking Simon Belmont.
Yeah, they turned Simon Belmont into an idiot.
Yeah, and a fop. Like that was uh
And some of the faces they gave him looked like,
uh,
ugh. And poor Mega Brain from Metroid.
oh yeah, Mother Brain.
Mother
Yeah.
Brain,
mm,
that's it.
Yeah, who's basically just a shitty Audrey too, even down to the voice being the
oh,
same.
Mhm. Let's see. Yeah, and also forgetting backgrounds and faces.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. There's several times. It's one of those 80s cartoons where like you'll have such sloppy shit going on, the background just disappears and it's just blank white.
hmm That George of the Jungle game is next on my list.
Oh, that fucking game. Holy shit.
I didn't realize they had a game of Drawers of the Jungle.
It was for the Wii and it was a tie-in to that stupid 2000s Cartoon Network George of
Oh,
the Jungle.
the cartoon reboot.
Yeah. They
Where
had a
they
Oh.
game
made
to
George
tie
of the
into that.
Jungle scrawny.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Kat, if this is on your list. Speaking of Wii games, didn't you review Hell's Kitchen for the
N-
Wii?
No, I did not. I wanted to, but I did not yet.
Isn't that what Spoonie reviewed?
Spoonie reviewed it, and a bunch of other channels have done it.
Okay,
I
I'm
think
curious
I
to hear
think
your
Because
take on it.
because there's also Iron Chef America for the Wii.
Oh my god! I wanted to do this for like one of my old Doctor Who videos. I wanted to do Doctor Who on the Wii because apparently it's really bad.
Oh gosh.
Oh
But
no.
but yeah, that going back to your thing, yeah, the George of the Jungle game for the Wii, it's not good.
Yeah, but at least the voice actors sound right? Because in that, didn't they have a second season or
Yeah,
something where they
many
changed the actors and
yeah
the character relationships?
yeah many years after the fact. I think in like 2016 they decided to like revamp it, and like they changed a lot of the character interactions, like how the characters interact with each other, and like a lot of the backstory they changed. It's bad.
Oh.
Mm.
And it's
But
already
yeah,
for a show that's not good.
yeah, with this, the graphics looked horrifying. It looked like they were going to eat you,
Oh God.
especially in the cutscenes where the George's head is like, uh, I don't know who voiced him. I forget who voiced him in the cartoon, but he deserved a better paycheck than that.
Wasn't it
I
James Arnold
agree.
Taylor?
I think only because everybody's talked about this. Um, Mysterious Mayor Duell.
Yeah, oh, the most disliked episode of MLP.
Well, for some people, because I have my two worst.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, one that you've already reviewed, and one
And one
that's
I'm
coming.
getting to.
Hmm.
Oh, when that eventually officially comes out, and when we get to your 650th or 700th.
Oh
Yeah, oh
gosh.
Oh,
god,
I
that can
have
be the
words for that one.
oof.
Hmm.
But yeah, Mysterious Mayor Duell, the shoddy writing, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's they vilify Rainbow Dash. They make it that her friends don't even consider having an honest conversation with her to tell her to stop being such a braggart.
Hmm.
And like and it's honestly just a squander of a good idea. It's like yeah, like essentially what Mayor Duell is supposed to be sort of like a Batman, Darkwing Duck kind of pony superhero, and it's like, and it's such a waste. Honestly, it really is.
Yeah, and nobody questions like that there may be an alicorn around.
Yeah, she has unicorn magic and she can fly, and the whole concept is just like they don't even question that.
Hmm. Yeah, that just seemed like very shoddy writing, and all the constant winking at the end was like, ugh.
Hmm.
But a real hero doesn't brag. Meanwhile, like 7 minutes earlier, all of them were bragging, and it would have been one thing if they were all congratulating each other as Mare-do-Well, but they're all like, Applejack compliments how strong she is, and
And
Twilight
how
compliments her magic.
humble.
Yeah, it's like this sucks.
Very sucky.
It almost sounds like tell us you're breaking the fourth wall without telling us you're breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, that one's just pretty. It's pretty standard, like of the disliked MLP episodes. I
Yeah,
still
it's an
say
easy
Philly
choice.
Vanilli is worse.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that one's on my number six, I think.
Yeah, that was number
Um,
6.
yeah, okay. Uh, number five, Gravinians.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, but yeah, Griminians, it's a failed pilot made for Cartoon Network, made
Mm.
by a talented artist, and the only entertaining part is the villain, who's the late great uh, Dennis Hopper. He,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and
Oh,
and
poor
also and
dude.
also and also the late great Pee Wee Herman is in it. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Rest in peace, Paul Rubens.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I think I may have seen the only two times it was on Cartoon Network. Once
Yeah,
on Cartoon Network itself and once on Adult Swim. I was wondering what the hell is this?
yeah, like I don't understand who, like maybe it would have worked a little better as an Adult Swim show because like the
Maybe.
premise is you got these two hippie aliens that live on a planet that's basically just conformist 1950s suburbia Edward Scissorhands world. Um
Hmm.
and they, that it is really on the nose, and it's like, oh yeah, kids are just gonna love this fucking social satire you got. Where like at one point the dad, who's also played by Dennis Hopper, says like, I can't take this free thinking insanity, and it's like, okay, I'm not saying you can't have subtle commentary or whatever, but it's like, what kid is gonna get this shit?
It sounds like Third Rock from the Sun meets All in the Family.
Sort
Mm-mm.
of. I mean, like, and then okay, so then our main duo leave their planet to go to Gruvenia, and they meet the titular Gruvenians, who are just other aliens with like weird, slightly weirder designs. Like, I don't know. And then like their whole thing is like, oh, on Gruvenia we just have fun nonstop. We just have fun all the time. And then, but there's robots that run the planet who come in and like get like demand they give them money, which
Wait,
is liquid.
and poor Dennis Hopper has a really weird villain song.
Where he sing talks. I mean, he's a robot, but still, it's like I don't get it.
Or like Scar and the quote unquote live action Lion King sing, talking, be prepared.
Yeah, he just goes like, money makes me happy, money makes the world go around.
Uh,
It's like, yeah.
uh. Yeah, it's but I put it semi in the middle because as bad as it is, it's kind of funny in its badness.
Dennis Hopper, yeah, Dennis Hopper is funny in it.
Yeah, him and Jeff Bennett as the flirty French alien is
Oh,
pretty funny.
yeah, what was that about? He has like a fucking mustache that like unwinds. It's like his like a cartoon erection or whatever. It's like, what the shit?
And the weird dog thing like sounds like one of those old toys that like if you spin it, it sounds like it makes an animal noise.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a laugh track for literally one line in the episode, and then they're just never again.
Mhm.
I'll
The
never
big
understand.
lipped alligator moment.
That's pretty much the entire
Ta-da!
thing. Yeah.
Little Shop.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. Little Shop is bad, but like again, like I don't. I feel like I've seen worse, but at the same time, yeah, Little Shop is fucking terrible.
I think the weirdest thing about it is that it's like the kids in the drawings, they're supposed to be like in middle school. They look elementary aged.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. This is supposed to be a prequel show, I guess, to Little Shop of Horrors, and that like
Mm.
now like they're all kids, and so okay, instead of the dentist being a dentist, he's a bully who has comedically bad braces,
Uh,
and Audrey is
Audrey
just a
won.
Audrey one is just a ditzy girl with no
Uh,
personality to speak of. She doesn't even
And
have the
likes a
signature.
refrigerator.
Yeah, what the and Seymour is basically just a nerdy little kid, and he looks like it's weird. They try to cash in on the
Rick
'90s movie.
Moranis.
Yeah, they try to cash in on that, and yet none of the characters look anything like them. The closest is maybe Mr. Mushnick, but even then, it's like it's just a caricature, like a cartoonish,
Yeah.
exaggerated version. And then they make the plant rap several times.
But the plant is all his friend now.
Yeah, the plant they toned down the whole plant eating people. Here it just has a ravenous appetite for anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it didn't look like they colored in the backgrounds properly.
Yeah, this has animation on par with fucking Hammerman. Like it's that bad.
Yeah, that was on my list before, so I did. That's why I didn't put it
Uh.
on here.
That's an example of something that's so bad it's
Oh.
funny.
Yeah.
Hammerman.
Yes. Oh, my next one is the bad Foster's episodes that you've reviewed.
Oh god.
Mhm.
Oh, those
Yeah.
were painful.
Yeah, I remember that was your number one on the worst TV reviews list that we did long ago, and rightfully so. Those are bad.
Yeah, I think, but you can't exactly blame Foster's entirely because that's on Cartoon Network for wanting Blue to learn a lesson every time, so that's why
Oh,
he never grew. That's why he stayed a jerk.
so that's why they did that, huh?
Mhm.
Jesus.
Uh-huh. Yes. And honestly, rewatching a lot of like clips from it, Mr. Harriman was terrible to Frankie.
Yeah. Yeah, you ain't wrong.
He wouldn't let her go out. He would always push chores onto her, and he would yell at her for things that weren't her fault.
Yeah, which I guess all of that came to a head in the one of the last TV movies they did.
Mm-hmm. Where he finally learned not to treat her like crap.
Yep, Destination Imagination.
Mm.
Where they allegedly had pissed in the film.
Oh God.
It's them up, that's what you did.
Yeah. But I let's see. I think the top definitely the worst ones are like the one everybody knows, the one with Bendy.
Yeah.
Now that one's pretty bad because no, it's one thing not to believe Blue, but Eduardo, Wilt, Coco, come on. We don't really learn anything about Bendy other than he's a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, that one's bad. I think the
Foster's Goes to
one.
Europe is just like a waste of an idea.
And it's just mean spirited to poor Mac. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're getting a free trip to Europe out of this. Don't complain at him,
Yeah.
especially when Madame Foster is the one to steal those tickets. And Blue didn't even want to go. So why is he
Yeah.
all pissy?
Yeah.
I hope that they apologize to Mac after learning that Madame Foster was the one that stole the tickets from an 8-year-old boy.
Ugh.
Oh, and there was the one with the surprise party
Yeah,
where
I
you
hated
really
that one.
question if why he's still friends with Blue.
Yeah, how no.
Hmm. Let's see. And there was the one with goofball John McGee.
Oh yeah, I talked about that one in a separate video.
That one was utter crap. What were the other two that you talked about?
There was one where I think Blue wanted to see a movie and meet a movie star, but like it seemed like the universe was conspiring against him and like everything in its power wouldn't let him get to go. And what was the other? Oh, the other one was when they forced Duchess out of the Foster's home to stay with Mac's family, and of course she's terrible. And when they try to force her back to Foster's, everyone is doing everything in their power to keep her away.
Even though it meant that Mac could be moving away.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Yeah, Foster's was a great show, but it had some dog episodes. And my number one is Arnold betrays Iggy.
Oh, the worst
Oh
episode.
boy.
Lots of worst episodes in your list. I like
Yeah.
Well, when a good show has a crap episode, it's gonna sting more.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
this is one where even the creator hated it.
Yeah.
I
You
think
could tell
they,
it's bad, yeah.
yeah. Oh, there's a lot of those in here. Oh no, wait, Mayor Duell. No, Feeling Peaky Keen was the one that Lauren Faust personally apologized for. She also apologized for Bendy. And
Okay.
yeah, the creator for Hey Arnold hated this one. Rightfully
Oh,
so. This episode's bad.
yeah.
Because Iggy doesn't even consider that Arnold wouldn't actually betray him.
Yeah.
And it's like, how is he supposed to know that Sticky and Sid like happened to guess the bunny pajama thing? And
Yeah.
Arnold begged them not to say anything, but they did because they're little shits.
Yeah, and they never change.
Yeah.
No.
And fucking just like Bendy, this episode ends with this character Iggy never appearing ever again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And why was he in bunny pajamas again?
It was like an
did he get them
embarrassing
from an aunt? Oh, wait, that was a Christmas story.
that was something good, Shannon. No, fucking I forget exactly what the reason was. It was like some embarrassing secret. Like it's like when I don't remember the entire details, but I think the first episode of Drake and Josh had something similar, and that's
Yeah.
way better than this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Josh dressed as a woman to write an advice column.
Yes, yes, that's what it
Yes.
was.
Oh
It's
my
just it's
God.
basically a better version of this episode.
Yeah.
Hmm. Because Drake didn't out him for dressing up
True.
like that.
True, but Drake did have his moments where he was the world's worst brother.
Well, that's what resulted in one of the best episodes of that show with Josh is Done.
Hmm.
Yes. Yeah, that episode was great. Great. Finally seeing Josh get respect around him and Drake finally
Yes.
getting some comeuppance.
I
Yeah,
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
It's
and
about
then
time.
and then it ends with them getting back together and playing ping pong.
Yeah, and then going,
Yes.
whatcha, whatcha,
Wah, wah, wah,
whatcha,
wah.
You
So,
have you have smashed the window of transparency.
so I don't have 10, but I have four, and all four of
Okay.
them have to do with me.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh God. Okay. I
Okay,
think I can tell. But go ahead.
so in any particular order, first one, Sir Billy.
Oh boy.
I had to suffer through that. Oh my God, just everything and like Sean Connery just complaining the entire time. And I think we kept making James Bond references.
The movie kept making James Bond references
It
too,
did.
and they were referencing ones that he wasn't even in. They
Yeah.
referenced fucking Pierce Brosnan ones and like all the other like Daniel Craig ones. It's like, how do you fuck this up so badly?
Oh my God. Yeah. The next one, I think I watched this with you, Eminem, Eminem's
Oh,
cartoon show.
oh, the Slim Shady show. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh ho ho. You thought fucking Hammerman was bad?
Oh,
Well, it was, but
oh my
you want to look at
Lord.
like you want to look at the adult equivalent of that, the Slim Shady show.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
god.
That was bad.
Yeah.
Next one was Rugrats preschool days.
Oh, the one where rounding out the characters to make them cute made them
Hmm.
scarier.
Uglier. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like Stevie and I watched the first episode and we're like, done. Nope, nope, done. Mm-mm.
That's one of my favorites. I love that one.
Same. And
Isn't
oh, sorry, go ahead, Kat.
in the last season or so of the original Rugrats, they kind of would sprinkle in episodes of Angelica and Susie at preschool, but in the regular
Yeah,
style.
there was a whole episode in the original series that
Yeah.
was basically this but better, and in the
Like
original
there was
art
a whole
style.
episode of all of them as all grown up, which led into
Yeah.
Rugrats all grown up. Because there was
Which,
one episode where I guess they were teasing a spin-off series.
yeah,
Mhm.
it was like a special, I think, and then Nickelodeon was like, "Hey, make that a spinoff."
Yeah, but I liked All Grown Up. It was
Really,
fun.
I did too. It was interesting to see all of them all grown up.
I
Mhm.
liked the special. I wasn't really fond of the show just because it's like, they're having teenage melodrama. I don't know. It wasn't for
Yeah.
me.
Well, then again, we weren't teenagers going through melodrama when the show came out.
I will stick with much better animated shows about teenagers going through teenage superhero adventures. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Teen Titans Go.
Oh god, yeah. Oh god, yeah. That was way better.
Kangaroo Jack, just for the simple fact I was like, please review this. Nostalgia Critic hasn't reviewed it yet.
Yeah. Oh god, I remember that. Yeah, it was you, me, Patrick, and Adam.
We
We were
watched it,
watching.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh god, the fucking marketing of that movie was such ass because it's
It
like
was. And like Kangaroo Jack speaking was just a dream
it was a dream
sequence.
sequence.
That was it.
Yeah, and it was in like the middle of the movie for like one scene. But the
Yeah.
entire marketing campaign just kept hyping up. It's a kangaroo with a sweatshirt that raps to the Sugar Hill Gang.
At least in the animated sequel, they had a reason for why he eventually would talk.
And they had
I
him rap to
actually
LL
didn't
Cool J.
see that.
It was
I
better.
yeah.
I'm
Try,
surprised they made it, but
yeah,
Same.
it's one of the weirdest like ideas, an animated spin-off of an adult-ish comedy.
Yeah. And then last but not least, a special truce.
need we go on?
Do I have to explain? Or we
God.
may need to explain for individuals listening and watching going, what's a special truce?
Well, I mean, go ahead. We already talked about, we already gave like lectures about Channel Awesome and Cinemassacre and
Oh
Irate
God.
Gamer. So go
Okay,
ahead.
so a special truce was a fanfic. Does lot in 2012. So this fan fiction is 13. It is 13 years old. It just had a birthday, May 26th. Anyway, this fan fiction was written by someone named Hamo Hamster, and it's basically about the nerd having a crush on the nostalgia critic, and they end up doing the shebang. That's how I'm gonna phrase it.
They fuck.
Well, YouTube. I gotta say they gotta do they did the shebang. But yeah, they banged for sure. Um,
And they go
yeah.
into pretty graphic detail about it too.
They
Holy
oh my
balls.
God, they literally go step by step, but it's
That's awesome.
bad. It's like written bad. There's some grammatical errors and it's
Oh,
just
a
wrong.
few grammatical errors.
I'm trying to be nice. And to top it all off, when I was active in my reviewing days, Hamo Hamster did a sequel called Never Meant to Be, which is basically a love triangle between the irate gamer, the angry video game nerd, and the nostalgia critic.
Random.
I wouldn't say random. It's like I can see
Mm.
why, but why would you want to write a story about? I don't know.
I no, I don't know.
Naughty fanfic writers. They like to get those ideas out there.
No. I mean, okay, you know what? Since you guys went, I guess I can go through mine. I can go through my list here.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
All right, okay. My number 10. Here's how I categorized mine. I listed it out like each number is like a different category. Like so it's different things being reviewed. Okay, so number 10 for merch and action figure reviews, I put the Werehog bootleg figure from my Venom action figure review.
Mm.
There's this really terrible uh bootleg action figure for the Werehog from Sonic Unleashed, and which is already a disliked game in the Sonic franchise, but it's the one where Sonic basically turns into a the werewolf equivalent of a hedgehog,
Is it
and
just as bad as Mario turning everybody into a hat?
But
Mario Odyssey is good. You shut your mouth. It's like that game is fucking great. I don't know. Sonic Unleashed is one of those games where I see why everyone doesn't like it, but I'm kind of glad people are giving it more of a fair shake in recent years because I was like, yeah, it's stupid as hell, but I never really hated the game, so I don't know. But this action figure, like, I was pretty fair. I tried being fair in my video for it, but looking back, I'm like, no, this is probably the worst piece of crap I've ever looked at in terms of like bootleg. Even the crappy Dollar Tree action figures that I've reviewed that were all like just inferior versions of like GI Joe and Transformers and Power Rangers and stuff like that. Those were better than this.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's bad. Number 9 for worst amusement park attraction or live media I reviewed, Superstar Limo.
Mm.
Yeah,
I've
it
seen
is.
videos about that.
Yeah, it. There's a reason Disney tried to give this thing the fast pass. It is bad.
mm.
It's
Is it
very
still
tacky.
around?
No,
Oh,
no.
oh, oh, yeah, that's right.
It lasted a year. It got replaced by Monsters Inc., which
That's right. It did. Like there was like a faux looking Drew Carey, I think. Drew Carey, Whoopi Goldberg, I think were
yeah,
in there.
Robin Williams, I think.
Oh
Um,
God.
just like Tim Allen. It's like it's very cheesy and very dated. Um, and it's just so tacky. It's like it's
Yeah.
the tackiest fucking thing Disney World had or Disneyland. I'm sorry. It was bad. Like I don't know. It's really bad. And granted, there is a video from I think Defunct Land. There's
Yes.
a bunch of people have talked about this,
Uh,
but
I know. I
Super.
love Defunct Land.
Oh, so do I. I love Defunctland too. But he apparently the reason like the original plan was they wanted this to be a fast ride, and they wanted it to be that you're basically being chased after by paparazzi. Like that's the whole reason that you're going fast to try and dodge them. But then Princess Diane passed away.
Yes.
Of course, that
Ugh.
in lieu of that, Disney was like, it's not going to look good if we have a ride that's about trying to get away from paparazzi.
Mm-hmm.
So because that's how that happened. So then they pretty much tried everything to they tried to get the ride ready, to meet deadlines, but they had to also change things. So then they made it a slow ride. It's bad. It's
Oof.
very very tacky, and it's very unfortunate that like that
Yeah.
was what it would have been connected to. And the Monsters Inc. ride that replaced it, not great or anything, but it's leagues above Super Slow Mo.
All right.
Anyway, number 8. Okay, so this was for worst food and or drinks related things that I've reviewed. I've looked at plenty of bad food items throughout my videos. I mean, Jolly Rancher soda
Ah.
Ugh.
and the icy cereal they had,
Eh.
and chili
Ew.
chocolate. God, what was some of the other ones? Oh, Danny's Sub Shop, which is for everyone who remembers the old reviewer days of Magfest. Danny's Sub Shop was, I mean, their burger that I had from them wasn't that bad, but I mean, Danny's is an experience. But I decided to go with the most well known villains of the culinary world, and probably the craziest people Gordon Ramsay ever had to meet, Amy's Baking Company.
Ooh.
We ripped
These,
that episode.
yes, we did. We did in the old stress room days. Yumi and Patrick sat down and we watched the
Oh,
Return to Amy's Baking Company.
oh God, yeah.
These people, it's weird. They tried to capitalize on the episode where they basically became a giant internet meme, but they also freaked out at the internet for turning them into an internet meme. They basically did what everyone did. The only other person I can think of who falls into the category of these people is the actual soup Nazi that they made the Seinfeld episode out
Oh
of.
God, it's sort of like the creator of Flappy Bird,
Yeah, yeah, it's like
who
that.
like created a game and then got super famous and then couldn't take the fame, so took the game off the App Store.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Huh.
what happened with him. But yeah, Amy and Sammy Bazaglo, these people are absolutely crazy, and I think it resulted in one of the greatest episodes of
Oh
Kitchen
my God.
Nightmares.
So, okay, so here's my question now.
Yeah.
Amy, like Gordon Ramsay versus A, Amy's Baking Company, or B, the vegan teacher.
The vegan teacher on TikTok.
Oh.
That what there should be like a Legion of Doom for bad chefs. You got her, you got Amy's Baking Company, you got the soup Nazi.
Oh my God.
Um,
Like they should make a Gordon Ramsay video game and all of these are just the boss fights.
Ah.
it's like Dark Souls, but you're going up against like these like deformed versions of these people.
Oh my
Uh,
God. And like the big boss fight is Gordon Ramsay fighting himself.
Ooh.
it's raw. It's fucking raw. That'd be great.
Hmm.
Man, yeah. These people, they weren't great chefs. I mean, apparently their desserts were great, but I like they're the kind of people that say, "Oh, we make everything from scratch," and then there's footage that was shown in the Return to Amy's Baking Company where it's like, oh, is this handmade? Was it gnocchi or it was something like that? And it's like, is this handmade? She goes, no, and it's like, but you said that you make like that all your stuff is handmade. She goes, well, I don't hand make everything, and it's
Uh,
Mm,
like caught you in a lie.
yes.
And then like they interview like former employees, and they say like if they were being disciplined, they'd have to do things like wash their car,
Mm.
and like they just seem like genuinely crazy people. I think when we watched the Return to Amy's Baking Company episode, I think Shannon, you did a little internet sleuthing, and you found that I guess they're still around on Facebook, and they're posting like I guess they sell stuff not from a restaurant, but like from like a digital store.
Let me check if that's still a thing. Hold on.
Like I remember you made a you were like you're like they took a picture of them selling pizza, but in the background there's a pizza box. That's just frozen pizza that they're selling.
Oh, Amy's Baking Company Bakery Boutique, I think it's called.
Oh,
hmm.
oh God. So they're
Boutique and
still
Bistro.
Yeah, that was the full name. That's right. I do remember that.
Yeah,
But I
Amy's
think
Baking Company, Bakery, Boutique, and Bistro. Oh, the last post was in 2024. All Reddit mentions of us must be taken down. We will not allow this any longer as it has been over 10 years.
they're still doing it. That's amazing. Anyway, so yeah, Amy's Baking Company, one of the best episodes of Kitchen Nightmares. Really
Yeah.
crazy as fuck people. Let's see. Next for number 7, worst board game or tabletop game. Now, if I were to
Ooh.
do this back in like 2015 when I was like on my second year, it easily would have been Mr. Bucket or Doggy Doo.
Hmm.
Yeah, and there's a couple of other ones that slipped through the cracks. I mean, like there was an Indiegogo campaign for a game literally called Bukkake the card game. It's
Ew.
Yeah.
yeah, it
No,
sounds
thank you.
bad. Yeah, there's one from Shark Tank called Bullet Ball, which I feel bad for the guy that made it because he basically went homeless. Like he put all of his life savings into it, and basically it's just a game where it's basically just pong on a table. You take a ball and you just like use your hands to like knock the ball back to your opponent, and it's like you wasted all your life savings on that. Like, uh. But anyway, so I racked my brain as to like what could be the worst, and this one's fairly recent. I'm very comfortable in saying this. My number 7 for worst board game I've ever talked about. It's Acclaim's VCR Golf.
What is that?
Okay, so you guys know Acclaim, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
So before they got into video games, they had board games, and well, they made it's basically a board game version of golf, and it's just as boring as it sounds. You roll the dice, and it however much dice you like, whatever the number is that it lands on, determines how far you can move a space along one of 3 double-sided boards that are supposed to look like an actual golf course. And you move like along these like lines, and then you have to measure how many feet your piece went. So they give you a little ruler to measure it, and they also give you these cards that determine the outcome, like determining if your ball lands in the hole or if it lands in a sand trap or what have you. And how they incorporate the VCR aspect is there's a tape that comes with it, which is no joke, 2 hours of ABC golf tournament footage. And one of the cards you get is it says like determine your own shot based on the results on screen. So whatever happens to a ball on the tape, like you're supposed to pause it in between turns. So whatever, like say somebody on the tape ends up landing a hole in one, that means that you get a hole in one.
So it sounds like the board game Seen It did a lot better.
Yeah, yep, yeah, yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much just a crappy version of Seen It. It's like, look, I fully admit, I've said it in the video, because there's another VCR golf game from Epix. Acclaim and Epix were the same people that made like California games and winter games for the NES. Like that's what they
Hmm.
did. Um, and it's fair to say that this game is definitely a blizzard of balls. Um, but yeah, it's like even from someone who's sport illiterate like me and not really the world's biggest expert on golf, I can't see people who are like diehard fans of golf wanting to be like, oh man, you want to play VCR golf? Oh yeah. It's just an incredibly boring, incredibly counterproductive. Like for people out there who are like, oh, why would you want to play board games or why would you want to play video games based on, a sport you could play in real life? Let me take it a step further. Why would you want to play a board game based on a sport you could play in real life?
Wii Sports
Anyway,
did it better.
God, yeah, right. Do do do
Hmm.
do do
Do
do
do
do.
do.
Wii Sports. All right, so for number 6, for internet content that I've
Ooh.
reviewed, I racked my brain around this, and this is kind of a cheat because this is from an April Fool's video, but I don't care. I still think this is some of the worst crap that's on YouTube. Kids toy review slop brain rot channels. So this typically ends up going on the YouTube main page. It's stuff typically aimed at children, and it's like Ryan's Toy Review is one, and Hobby Kids TV is another. There's just a bunch of these channels where it's basically just parents profiting off of their kids. They
Oh.
give them a bunch of like the hottest toys at Walmart or Target or whatever, and have them unbox it. And there's that certain level of like if these channels are monetized, the parents are definitely profiting off their kid.
Ugh, yeah, it's just, and they get,
Yeah.
there's creepers like watching this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely part of it. And like, and
Ugh.
to add to that, like some of these channels, they don't just do these like toy review unboxing videos. They also do these like really weirdly inappropriate skits. Like it's like there's a lot of really weird fetishy shit in that. This
Yeah,
is
like pranking their kids on purpose.
yeah, like what the fuck? Like stuff like that and like okay, I'll give you a perfect example. This these kind of channels are what led to Elsa Gate, if you guys remember that.
Can you remind me?
Sure. So Elsa Gate, a lot of these channels would do these videos where they would dress up as copyrighted characters. The two biggest ones they always did were Elsa from Frozen and Spider-Man for some reason. That wasn't it. They also did a bunch of other ones. They did DC characters, Marvel characters, like Mickey Mouse and Friends every
Ugh.
once in a while. Yeah. And it would just be these like weird, like silent film videos with like really crappy royalty free music and stock sound effects and like it would just be them like playing around and there then like at first it would be like okay whatever this is for kids like it's not good but okay like maybe a 3-year-old would like it but then you really sit down to watch them there's some weird fetishy shit going on in them there's like foot fetish shit there's like transformation fetish shit like you'll have
Mm.
characters drink a potion and then they turn into like a mermaid or something um and the worst of it all is the weird feces fetish stuff. You'll have like
Ew.
yeah, you'll have it like they'll grab a plate with like chocolate sauce and in the context of the videos it's supposed to be feces and they'll just shove it in Elsa's face and she'll like lick it with her tongue. It's like
Ugh.
okay,
Ah!
there's
Oh
some weird
God.
sick shit going on here.
Yeah.
And the worst part of it all is okay, so yeah, I did this for an April Fool's gag. Instead of Media Wiz, I had Chris talk. The video was labeled Media Wiz reviews Trench Man, who is a friend of ours, and he originally he did action figure reviews, and he even shows up as in a cameo at the end of the video. Um, and the joke is that Chris reviews instead of reviewing his toy reviews, he reviews these like crappy toy review channels for kids. Um, and the video ended up getting taken down because one of the channels that I mentioned had the video removed.
Ugh.
Oops.
Yeah, Freaks Media, which was one of them that frequently had the dad of the channel like forcing his kids to do these stupid videos. So, yeah, for personal reasons, that's why I decided to put this on here. I've looked at really crappy reviews and webcam videos and crappy vlog videos, but I've like podcasts and game shows. I've looked at a bunch and original animations and fan animations and parody animations and rap battles and stuff like that. This takes the cake as like this is bottom of the barrel slop content, and I cannot stand this kind of shit. And the fact that it's still somehow around just perplexes me.
Mm.
Eesh.
Number 5 for worst song I reviewed. Now, this was actually number 1 in the worst songs I ever reviewed list I did from a couple years ago. It
Mhm.
almost got bumped, but after seriously thinking about it, I decided to keep it at number 5. Number 5 is Earth by Little Dicky.
Hmm.
So Little Dicky is a comedic rapper, sort of in the vein of like Lonely Island, I guess. Except a lot worse. And I like Lonely Islands generally, but yeah, Little Dicky. I mean, even his name is a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, haha, because he has a little dick. And
Mm.
he loves running that joke into the ground because every song he has to make a mention of it.
Oh gosh.
It's
Yeesh.
it's it's embarrassing. But with this song, he tries to have a message. It's supposed to be a song about, taking care of the environment and, environmentalism and what have you. Now, all fine and good. That's not a terrible message. However, the song itself is just crap. I mean, like, and
God.
the production of the instrumental isn't bad. It has like a very like '90s kind of Save the Rainforest type of sound. It's like the sound
Yeah.
like it actually sounds good. But here's what Little Dicky did. He was able to get every single famous musician you could possibly think of to appear in this song and just sing a really crappy joke with them pretending to be animals that all have like seriously think of pop stars and I guarantee you they're going to be in the song.
Wow.
Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, the guy from Maroon 5, Wiz Khalifa, Snoop Dogg, Ed Sheeran, Charlie Puth, Katy Perry, Miley Cyrus,
We are the
Sia. Yeah, yeah,
world.
it's pretty much a crappy
We
version
are
of We Are the World. But okay, but like, yeah, every single person just has these crappy lines that are just they're supposed to be a joke. The first lyric is Justin Bieber as a monkey, and he says his what is it he says? He's like, "Hi, I'm a baboon. I'm like a man but less advanced and my anus is huge."
Ew.
And it's just that for the entire song, uh uh what's his name? Shawn Mendes as a rhino says, "We're just some rhinos and horny as heck."
And this song is supposed to be for kids?
No, it's not really. No, like, I mean, I can only assume kids would find it funny, but it's like the whole like even the beginning
Oh,
of the music video, they try to make it like this is a serious song about saving the environment, and then it's just this for like three
yeah.
minutes. And then at
Hmm.
the end, like little Dicky goes on this monologue about like, oh yeah, the environment is serious. We gotta protect it. We're damaging the ozone and all that. And it's like, I'm sorry, you cannot sit here and tell me like, all this serious stuff after we had a bunch of bullshit before it.
Yeah. No, I
Hmm.
agree.
Oh my god. And like embarrassingly enough, it ends with the weirdest cameo. Well, next to Kevin Hart as Kanye West. Yes, that's part of the song. Uh, yeah.
What animal was Kanye West
No, 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 no. It's because Kanye West was the one person who said he was not going to do it. I don't know how, but okay. So instead, they got Kevin Hart to just show up and say, "And I'm Kanye West." But at the end of the song, you get a cameo from Leonardo DiCaprio, and what is it? Like Little Dicky's talking about how, oh yeah, we should all like donate to Leonardo DiCaprio's charities because he's doing good to stop climate change or something. And then he goes, any closing thoughts, Leo? And then an animated Leonardo DiCaprio says, "This is probably my favorite song of all time." And I'm like, okay, he deserves an Oscar for saying that because that's some fucking good acting right there. I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, I don't believe him either.
Me either.
Yeah, and that's another thing. The music video is animated really well. Like, there's really good animation. It's like Pixar quality animation for this fucking stupid song.
That
It's
sucks.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll say.
It sort of reminds me of that meme I think I posted years ago where there's like the Charles Darwin evolution, and then it gets to Justin Bieber, and then the one prior to that about faces and go, we got to go back and start over.
yeah, kinda. I mean, well, it's also appropriate because Justin Bieber's a monkey in the song. So number 4 for worst written media, comic, book, fanfic, whatever. Number 4. This was number 1 on the last list that me and Kat did. Sonichu.
Yep.
Simply put, it's not a terrible idea, and somebody did take the idea of Sonic and Pikachu merging into a singular being and actually made it pretty good with that Sonichu Redemption comic that I also
Hmm.
looked at. But Sonichu, it starts off as just a really lame idea, and it slowly became more of a self-insert for Chris
Yeah.
Chan, and the more it went on, it became less about Sonichu and more about Chris Chan's wacky internet adventures. And I know they're still going, but honestly, I just don't want to talk about Sonichu anymore. It's like I feel like that ship has sailed, and plus, plenty of other channels are already
Yeah.
chronicling Chris Chan's adventures. So yeah, I feel like there's no need to talk about it. Just all you need to know: Sonichu sucks.
All right.
Hmm.
Okay, so if you want to see us rant more about that, we talked a little bit about it in the worst written media list. But anyway, number 3 for worst video game, E.T. on Atari.
Oh, of
Yep,
course, of course. The
definitely.
yeah, the foundation for the AVGN movie.
And the most interesting bad video game story. I mean, this almost
Yeah.
led to video games as a medium just not existing because the market for it just sank because of this game.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oof.
I mean, there are plenty of other games that definitely fall into this category. I mean,
E.T.
shit.
was the first.
Yeah, it was the granddaddy of bad games.
Mm-hmm. The
The
first
great,
and the worst.
the great granddaddy, the first,
Bef-
the,
yeah,
the first and the waste.
long before there was a Sonic 06 or
Hmm.
a Bubsy 3D or an Action 52,
Hmm.
ET on Atari. It was the original, just buggy as hell, crappy
Yeah.
cash in game based on a
Hmm.
popular movie. Rush job, they just rushed it out to meet Christmas deadlines. And it's the best video game story. It's definitely an interesting one. If it wasn't for this game, we wouldn't have the modern gaming industry. So,
Yep.
and on in that regard, it should be respected. But as a game itself, I played it at RetroCon before they had a screening for the AVGN movie just next door.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I walked up to James Rolfe in my AVGN cosplay after playing it. He was walking with his posse, and I said, "This game sucks, and I can't wait to see you rip it apart." And he just smiles and goes, "Oh, thank you."
Oh,
That was
nice.
funny.
Nice. I wonder with the technology we have now, can we revamp ET for Atari and like
Well, it's
fix it?
Hmm.
it's interesting you say that, Shannon, because there were other ET video games there, which I did a follow up on. I reviewed one for the Game Boy Advance, and there was one on the Game Boy Color, and they're also not very good, but they're still leagues above the Atari game.
Hmm.
Hell, the ET board game is a step above the ET video game.
Do, 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 do,
Oh,
do.
I'm flying, I'm flying, I'm flying. Oh,
Oh,
I'm flying, I'm flying. Oh.
yeah,
Ah.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But yeah. So, what else needs to be said?
Mhm.
ET. It's one of the most well-known bad games of all time. All
Mhm.
right, number two for worst TV show or worst television anything.
Ooh.
Now, when we did this list, when it was me and Kat, my number one was TLC because, and I still think TLC is hot garbage. It, along with other crappy reality show broadcasts like MTV, for example.
Mhm.
Yeah. But looking back, and people even commented like, "Wow, I can't believe what your number two wasn't number one." So after combing through TV reviews I've done after that, I've looked at dumb stuff after that. That
Mhm.
was a crappy TV show, like Kat mentioned Little Shop and stuff like that. Now I still say, in retrospect, yeah, this definitely should be the worst TV show I've looked at this thus far for Media Wiz. Number two goes to Alan Gregory.
Oh.
Alan Gregory, it was the brainchild of Jonah Hill, and it was their attempt at trying to make an adult animated show for Fox. And basically, it's just a smug little boy who talks like a self-righteous 40-year-old.
What's the show
And
called?
Alan Gregory, and it has this like really weird looking like bit strips kind of looking animation, uh and everything about the show is just like, I'm fine with like mean spirited shows. One of my favorite shows of all time is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like
Oh, okay.
I'm fine with having a show that's like a little bit mean. I mean, even like to an extent, Seinfeld is like
Mhm.
but the thing is, usually you have characters who are sort of like the anchor for the audience, like someone who's like kind of a voice of reason that you can get behind. And Alan Gregory, there's barely anyone like that. Like Alan Gregory himself, the main character, he's just this obnoxious little shit that, like, whenever something bad happens to him, you're like, good. He sucks. He's a terrible character. He's adopted by two gay men. Well, okay. You have it that one guy who's played by French Stewart basically bullied a straight man into marrying him and leaving his family, and it just comes off like the most like unhealthy relationship ever. It's just
Oh.
it's really
Mm.
uncomfortable and not funny at all. And
I
and
see it only ran for one season and had a total of 7 episodes.
yeah, it was that shit, and
Hmm.
rightfully so. It sucked.
So it sounds
Uh,
like Jonah Hill was trying to cash grab on Dexter's Laboratory and failed
sort of
miserably.
sort of. And what's really funny, there's an ad for the show where they take a shot at Family Guy, and it's like, Family Guy might not be good anymore, at least not compared to its glory days, but it's like
Hmm.
Family Guy at least has its own identity. This is fucking garbage.
No, it's like,
Oh, and he has. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
it's like Dexter's Lab meets Boss Baby.
Ew.
now you see it if it had Alec Baldwin just like going off and yelling at people, it probably would have been funnier in
Oh.
a really cringeworthy way. Um, oh, and he has like this adopted sister who's like Cambodian, and she's like kind of like Wednesday Adams ish. She's probably the
Uh,
closest thing to likable in the whole show.
Yeah.
although they draw her with a huge forehead.
I
Yeah,
see that.
yeah,
I'm
she's
like,
got a 5 head on her.
Yeah, it's like
oh,
this
five,
high.
a five head.
You've never heard that before?
No.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's this show's just painfully unfunny and gross and like misanthropic. Like the whole plot of the fucking first episode is that he falls in love with his principal, and they have these like weird fantasy sequences where you have
Yeah.
love making between a grown woman who's like, this sort of older, heavyset woman with like a like young kid, and
Ah.
it's just
Nah.
uncomfortable.
No, it's wrong on so many levels, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
And speaking of which, that leads us into our first into our number one spot for worst movie I've ever reviewed. I can't get over how horrible this movie is, and I know people would say it's low hanging fruit, but I don't care. This movie sucks. Inappropriate comedy.
Mm.
I don't
It's a
think I've ever
terrible.
seen that movie.
Oh, it good. Basically, it's a crappy sketch comedy movie that alternates between a bunch of just really forced, unfunny, edge lord, shock jock
Oh,
style
it's
comedy.
one of those, like Meet
Yeah,
the
which
Spartans or
kind of, but like there's no real like it's not really like a main parody of anything. Like, okay, the skits you have in here include Flirty Harry, which is it's just gay dirty Harry,
Huh.
oh,
played by Adrian Brody, embarrassing himself.
oh God.
You have a parody of Jackass with a bunch of stereotypical black guys called Black Ass,
Uh,
and they're just doing really unfunny Jackass style stunts that are really, really forced. Um, let's see. You have the porn review where you have Rob Schneider and Michelle Rodriguez reviewing crappy porn movies.
oh, and Lindsay
Yeah,
Lohan was in this, so
yes, yeah, Lindsay Lohan. Which the same year this came out, she was in. She had a bit part in Scary Movie 5, so that was not a good time in Lindsay Lohan's life.
definitely not.
Mm-mm.
And the worst sketches in here are The Amazing Racist with this guy Ari Shafir, who basically just does these like knockoff Borat hidden camera pranks that are all about like race. Like he'll specifically target different ethnic groups, and like it's just not fun. It's just trying so hard to be offensive, and they forgot to actually make it funny.
Yeah.
It's like you guys know me. Like one of my biggest inspirations for content is Rucka Rucka Ali, which
Mm-hmm.
very similar in humor, but it's like even Rucka's shocking style of humor has more of a point to it. Like there's more sat there like South Park is funny not just because what they're saying is
Yeah.
offensive. There's a point to it. This
Right
is
for
literally
Jesus.
what exactly. Yeah. But this is just like I don't know. It's like I remember on Sleepy Cabin podcast they talked a little bit about this. It's like, if you make something that's funny that just happens to offend someone, then that's okay. But if you're doing something with the intent of pissing people
Mm-hmm.
off and you're not actually trying to be funny, then you're just an asshole. And it's like
Yeah.
that's pretty much this movie. Oh, and
Mhm.
lo and behold, this is directed by the ShamWow guy,
Ah.
and he has a history of making shitty comedies like this. Before this, he had Underground Comedy, which was
Mm.
in like 1999, which was basically the same movie with less budget.
Wow.
Well, sham,
It's
not wow.
so it's bad. It's so bad it makes Seltzerberg, the guys who make shit like Meet the Spartans and Disaster Movie, look talented in comparison.
Yeah.
Woof.
And what's really funny, there's another movie that came out that same year that was like this, movie 43, which was also shit, but this one like this is like the Kmart version of movie 43. It's like movie 43 was already bad, but then someone was like, we can make one worse, and that's what this movie is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that does it for my list.
Mhm.
And we've been here for what feels like over 4
Yeah.
hours.
Almost. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think this was a very good podcast.
Yeah,
Resurrecting it. I had fun.
me too.
The
Same here.
plan is at least doing this once a month.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we shall see how it goes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, so I hope you all enjoyed our Resurrected podcast, Stevie, Cat. It's always been a pleasure.
Same
And
back at you.
thank you, likewise. And we'll meet again next month and
Okay.
talking about some other stuff. So I'm Shannon from Shannon Reviews, where I just review stuff.
I'm Steve, the guy that runs SAS Productions, that has Media Wiz and MC Swigga and all that other stuff.
And I'm Cat, voice acting monkey. See you
All right.
around.
All right. Have a great night, guys, or good morning, or whatever.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.